Alright. Can everyone hear? Well, since some people get in. Okay, so the audio's working on my end. If anybody comes in or is already here, would you guys be able to let me know when, if you can hear me? Testing, 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 testing. Apparently my PS5 thought I was talking to it. Hi. Hey, Base. Hey, Nick. Thank you guys for coming in and letting me know you can hear me. Alright, so, what's up, Warhawks Army, and welcome to Ironman Plays, the WWE 2K24 Showcase of the Immortals.
Nobody knew exactly what to expect on March 31st, 1985. On this night, the industry stopped and held its collective breath. Would WrestleMania live up to the hype? Would sports entertainment, the flawless mixing of WWE superstars with other celebrities from music, film, and sport, prove to be a hit with the fans? Every man and woman who laced up a pair of boots that night.
That's Andre the Giant. I share a birthday with him.
Knowing that they would sink or swim as the event did. With over 19,000 people in the legendary New York arena that night, this would be the most important night in the history of WWE. Lucky for all of us, it was a success, and it formed the foundation for what is without a doubt the quintessential event.
Yeah, shared. What he said, what Nick said.
It has constantly grown, pushing the industry to the limits with every blockbuster encounter, every record broken, and then broken again. It's a destination, a fuel for the dreams that burn in those who hope to one day compete. Entire streaks have been built simply based on the results from that one event. Year after year, a simple point to a sign informs everyone that you're being challenged. Winning's always sweet. Winning a WWE championship is even sweeter. But for some reason, nothing can compare to standing tall on the grandest stage of them all. A Sunday night gathering at the arena has, over time, transformed into the monster two-day extravaganza that fills mammoth stadiums with people traveling from all over the world to be there. At WrestleMania, one will experience the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, all done in the name of chasing glory. I'm Corey Graves, and I'd like to welcome you to the WWE 2K24 Showcase of the Immortals. Here, we will spotlight some of the biggest, craziest, most jaw-dropping.
He's also he's not exactly able to, you know, do the over-the-top stuff.
The historical footsteps by way of our showcase objectives and lead these titans of industry to victory. This year, as WrestleMania turns 40, let's look back at the journey to get here together and relive some of the most memorable moments from WrestleMania's past.
Alright, so this is the first match. WrestleMania 3. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, that's the guy on the left, versus Macho Man Randy Savage for the Intercontinental Championship.
The first WrestleMania set the stage for everything that was to follow.
All the way around the world. Now you know what it's all about, brother.
Celebrities were out in full force, showing that this was the place to be. WrestleMania 2 pushed the boundaries, taking place in 3 different locations: New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles, delivering 3 huge main events. But it would be WrestleMania 3 in 1987 that truly displayed WrestleMania's full potential. And for our first match of the 2K24 showcase of the Immortals, we go into the first verified WrestleMania Classic. The legendary clash for the WWE Intercontinental Championship between champion, the Macho Man Randy Savage, and his challenger, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Intercontinental champion since February of 1986, Savage tore through anyone who challenged him.
And that's Miss Elizabeth, his manager and at the time wife.
At WrestleMania 2. A clash between Savage and Steamboat during a late 1986 edition of Superstars would see the Macho Man retain via countout, but that wasn't good enough. He would launch a vicious attack on the Dragon after the match, taking him out of action. Savage would attempt to duplicate the attack on Steamboat's friend and former opponent George Steele during the first Saturday night's main event of 1987. Fortunately for the Animal, Ricky would make his well-timed return for the save, leading to the rematch between the two at WrestleMania. What transpired between the two combatants can only be described as art. A fast-paced, high-action classic unfolded in front of 90,000 plus in attendance, with both men coming so...
Sorry, I just noticed you were here.
...on a number of occasions. Would Savage be able to turn back the challenge of his angry opponent? Would Ricky Steamboat get revenge? These questions would be answered over the next 15 grueling minutes. And when it was over, everyone in attendance and those watching at home knew they had...
Everybody get your sacrifice emojis ready if you're a sub.
To the Macho Man's historic reign.
There's also exclamation mark sacrifice for when somebody gets busted open. Okay, you can't get too aggressive there. Dodge, reverse, or block, or break 3 of Macho Man. No worries. There is a command for lurking, you know. That might just be you. I don't think anybody else is having that problem. Ay, what the hell's going on? Is it me or is anyone else having that problem? I'm not seeing it. I don't see any problems on my end. Oh, okay. Bot. Makes sense. Oh, hey, hold on. Complete one objective in showcase mode. Again, that might just be you, sissy. Bruh. Get up. You know, if I could get this damn dude to stop interrupting me, it also would help. Fuck off. Oh my God, get in the ring. Southeast, so I'm assuming it's this corner. There we go.
All action from the moment the bell rang, and these two didn't give each other a second to rest. Ricky Steamboat fighting to avenge a career-jeopardizing attack months earlier by not only defeating Savage in the ring, but also ending his reign as Intercontinental Champion. The aggression was almost uncharacteristic from Steamboat. Was Steamboat too angry? And would that lead him to making a costly mistake? Was Steamboat too focused on hurting Savage and not on winning the match? Had the Dragon taken enough time to recover in the first place, or had he rushed back in the hopes of humiliating the Macho Man under WrestleMania's bright lights? Surely the presence of Miss Elizabeth's not-so-secret admirer, George the Animal Steele, was going to be a distraction to the Macho Man, who'd look to keep Steele away from his manager at all times. Could Savage shut all that out and lock in on his challenger? Despite the external factors, these two appeared to be firing on all cylinders once they settled in. There was a real sense that this match could be, and was going to be, something special. The fans were captivated by the constant back-and-forth battle, with no one really able to maintain any type of control in the early portion of the match. The Macho Man appeared almost thankful to get a moment to himself
and
after dumping
over.
Steamboat back to the floor, letting you know that Savage understood he was in a fight unlike any other he'd been in before. Things were only getting started.
My thing keeps cutting in and out my chat keeps cutting in and out because I'm on a VPN, so I don't know if anything else was said. Bro. Bruh, really? Bro! Get up! To be fair, the bot got in the first time. bitch. Bitch.
The Macho Man was trying everything, and that included fighting dirty. But Steamboat continued to have an answer at every turn. Steamboat's counter wrestling had smothered Savage's offense, and the building frustration was obvious on the face of the Macho Man. In a match this closely contested, one small mistake can be a game changer. And Savage's frustration led to him making a big one, charging at Steamboat only to be backdropped to the floor. Steamboat finally had a huge opportunity to pour on the pressure and put Savage away.
One, and two. Oh. Really? Did I say you can get up? Did I say you can get up? Stay your ass down. I said, get, oh my God. Seriously? Really? Bro. Quit reversing. Really? Quit countering. There. There.
Once the referee went down, there was a real sense of panic. Savage quickly hits his flying elbow, but obviously there was no official to count. The Dragon was grounded for now, but there was no way Savage had already put his fire out. After all the two had gone through, how was it going to end?
If anyone is wondering, yes, I will be playing MyRise. That's the career mode for anyone who doesn't know. And we will be bringing back our universe mode.
Looking to take advantage of the situation, the Macho Man looked to use the ring bell on the fallen Dragon, only to be intercepted by George the Animal Steele.
Yeah, see, George the Animal Steele wasn't in the 2K24 version of this match.
Ultimately ends up being the decision that costs him. A then-record Intercontinental Championship reign comes to a bitter end for Savage, who wasn't thrilled about the manner in which he lost.
And 1,
and Steamboat's
2,
counter wrestling
3.
remains the key to this match, once again getting him out of trouble and earning him the victory. Hard to feel bad about a guy who tried to use the ring bell twice. This match, over 35 years later, is still a certified classic. The athleticism is incredible.
Intercontinental Champion, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Obviously, they can't use the original ring announcer because the original ring announcer was Howard Finkel. I don't want to get copyright claims, so... Next match. We'll do next match.
The clash between the Dragon and the Macho Man was a jaw-dropping battle between two of WWE's technical masters. An instant classic by all measures. But when the dust had settled and after the smoke had cleared, after Steamboat was carted off proudly holding his Intercontinental Championship above his head, the realization set in. We still have Hulk Hogan against Andre the Giant. Featuring two of WWE's biggest stars at the time, this was the headliner that brought those 90,000 people together in the first place.
Everybody has their best day at WrestleMania. That's the creme de la creme. WrestleMania, main event, there's nothing else in this world like it.
Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant were great friends for years. Andre famously poured the bubbly all over Hogan when he captured the WWE Championship in January of 1984, and the two were nearly inseparable from then on. The two would be presented with trophies in separate weeks. Hogan was given one for reigning as champion for 3 years, while Andre received one for going 15 years without losing. For both ceremonies, Andre was not his usual self, first noting to Hogan that 3 years to be a champion, it's a long time, and ultimately walking out of his own trophy celebration when Hogan arrived to praise Andre's accomplishments. The world was on edge, waiting to see what comes next. Soon after, Andre would appear with Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Wait, what's going on here? Hold on, man. What are you doing with him?
Heenan had gotten to Andre, fanning the flames of resentment that burned inside.
Did you ever once in your life offer him a championship match?
A heartbroken Hogan tried to reason with his friend, but with one move, yanking Hogan's chain from his neck, it was clear there was no turning back.
There's nothing else like getting in the ring with Andre the Giant. It is the great unknown. When you get there and you're with Andre the Giant, you're outmatched, you're outsized, you're outpowered. It's an uphill battle, so you have to fight from underneath. You have to have everything in sync, body, mind, and soul, to survive fighting an opponent like Andre the Giant. When I slammed Andre the Giant, I was surprised.
Spoilers!
94,000 people lost their breath and gasped at the same time. It overwhelmed me in the ring. It's etched in stone. It's just overwhelming how many people every day approach me and talk about WrestleMania 3.
Now it's up to you to do the impossible and defeat Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3. It truly is the irresistible force meeting the immovable object. It felt like time stood still once the bell rang, and Hogan and Andre approached each other in the center of the ring. It was finally here. The reason all these people were in the arena. The dominant 3-year WWE champion and the man who'd gone undefeated for 15 years about to collide. Who would strike first? Everything was amplified here. Andre's shove felt thunderous. Then, everyone held their breath when Hogan tried and failed to body slam Andre, nearly losing the match in the process. Could Hogan slam Andre? Would he try it again? Did he hurt his back or his knees in that failed lift? Andre, thinking he'd won the match, would have to recompose and get back on the task of taking out the Hulkster. Hogan had dealt with bigger opponents before, but really seemed to struggle with Andre's size and power advantage. Every shot Andre landed crumbled Hogan. Andre had just been dominant to this point, but an ill-advised trip to the ringside area would see Andre make his first real misstep, throwing a headbutt at Hogan that only ate ring post. With little success in the match to this point, Hogan would look for a pile driver of all things. But Andre easily backdropped him to the floor. If Andre could shake off headbutting the ring post so quickly, what was it going to take to keep him down for a 3 count? Hulkamania was looking to be in deep, deep trouble. That moment where Hogan finally takes Andre down with the clothesline, and seeing Andre timber to the mat, that's when it seemed like Hogan winning was a real possibility again. But he had to act right now or Andre would recover. Bobby Heenan screaming at Andre while he's down let you know the brain knew it too. And then you see Hogan start shaking his arms, and you're just thinking there's no way. But there is. And then it happens. Hulk Hogan lifts Andre the Giant up and body slams him. Nobody thought he could do it. One of the most magical moments in WWE history. Hogan was in full control of this match. And WrestleMania 3 ends with real American blasting, a Hulk Hogan pose down, and Andre the Giant and Bobby Heenan stunned in their failure. One of the most important matches not only in WrestleMania history, but WWE history itself. Up next, we jump ahead to WrestleMania 5 in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Those with tickets didn't know it as they entered the venue that evening, but they were about to witness one of WrestleMania's biggest upsets take place right in front of their eyes. The Ultimate Warrior captured the WWE Intercontinental Championship at the inaugural SummerSlam in 1988 by blitzing the Honky Tonk Man, ending his record reign in a little over 30 seconds. Since then, he seemed unstoppable, a lock to become WWE Champion one day. Two people who were not impressed were Ravishing Rick Rude and his manager Bobby the Brain Heenan. The 1987 Slammy Award winner for Best Body felt that Warrior was nothing special, both in-ring and even in terms of physique. This led to Rude challenging Warrior to a super pose down at the 1989 Royal Rumble, where the winner would be decided by the WWE Universe's approval. Pretty quickly, it was clear that the Ultimate Warrior was going to be crowned the people's choice, and Rude was livid. He'd launch a vicious attack, bringing the competition to an abrupt end. That would lead to the signing of the contract for the two to compete in the Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania 5, and the world felt that Warrior would destroy his brash challenger. But Henan and Rude were more than prepared for the champion. Henan was desperate to have WWE Gold in his vaunted Henan family ranks, and he knew that the Ravishing One was the right man for the job. They told anyone who'd listened that Rude was going to beat the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania, and now the time had come. Had they backed Warrior into a corner, or were they about to realize they'd bitten off far more than they could chew? That's a question only you can answer. Warrior wasted no time, rushing at Rude the second he entered the ring. There would be no feeling out, no tentative lockups here. Warrior was here to make Rude pay for what he'd said, and especially what he'd done. And he was going to do that with some of the freakiest power ever displayed in WWE. The way he absolutely manhandled Rude was a sight to behold. No one had done this to Rude before. All the confidence had been drained from the faces of Rude and Bobby Heenan, as Ultimate Warrior had steamrolled his challenger in the opening moments. had struggled to this point, but his luck was going to change in an instant. Warrior hit the ropes 3 times before attempting his big splash, giving Rude just enough time to get his knees up and block the attack. Big time ring awareness shown by the Ravishing One to keep himself in the match. Rude needed to take advantage here because his opportunities for offense were few and far between. Rude looked to put the arms away like they're nothing. No one had ever seen that done. All the momentum now with the Warrior, and he's looking to punish Rude a little bit more before ending the match. Rude looks completely out of it, and even Bobby Heenan looks flustered. Rude is trying to survive, trying to escape, but Warrior is relentless. Warrior's throwing Rude all over the place when it happens. One last act of desperation from Bobby Heenan turns this match on its head. He trips Warrior and hangs onto his boots for dear life. Warrior can't kick out. Just like that, Henan and Rude have stolen the Intercontinental Championship from the Ultimate Warrior in front of a completely stunned crowd. Rude smartly took his new championship and headed for the locker room. But Bobby Heenan, on the other hand, would not be so lucky, further incurring the wrath of an angry Ultimate Warrior.
I just realized nobody could hear me. Somebody could have said something.
And while the now former Intercontinental Champion would chase the new title holder right out of the arena, nothing could diminish the huge upset that night at WrestleMania 5. With
Hey everybody, sorry about that. I didn't realize nobody could hear me because nobody was talking. As I was saying, if you guys are not already following and you're new here, please feel free to do so.
An arena left completely shocked as Ravishing Rick Rude pins the Ultimate Warrior to win the WWE.
Yeah, Base, I didn't know I'd been talking that whole time.
Hey, if the ref doesn't see it, he can't call it. Those are the breaks. With the crowd buzzing from the monumental upset, it was time for WrestleMania 5 to deliver its main event. The Macho Man,
Mega Powers
Randy Savage,
explode.
defending the WWE Championship against his former best friend and Mega Powers partner, Hulk Hogan.
Excuse me.
Yeah, the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Dig it. He was one of a kind. He was intense. He was a great athlete. Everything about him was 100% perfect for sports entertainment and professional wrestling.
While the split of the Mega Powers was made official on a February 1989 edition of the main event, the cracks had been obvious to many long before that fateful night. Hogan and Savage's friendship had been beneficial to both, which was never more evident than the year prior at WrestleMania 4. On this evening, the vacant WWE Championship was to be decided in a 16-man, one-night tournament. In an absolutely brilliant display of athleticism and heart, the Macho Man would compete in 4 different matches to claim the championship. But it was in the final against the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase that Savage would run into seemingly more trouble than he could handle. In DiBiase's corner was Andre the Giant. Throughout the match, Andre interjected, bringing Savage's offense to a halt, or distracting him for attacks by DiBiase. Eventually, Miss Elizabeth would run into the back, bringing Hogan out to restore some order. And Hogan's presence led to Savage's win with a perfectly timed chair shot.
Perfectly timed.
Like I said before, those are the breaks. The Mega Powers would be locked in a heated rivalry with
I'm hydrating. I got water.
As the Mega Bucks, that culminated with their victory at the very first SummerSlam. Around this time, though, it appeared Randy Savage was jealous of the closeness between Hogan and Elizabeth. Some on commentary would mention it, but many were
I got water.
dismissed that there was any tension between the two. Things got worse at the 1989 Royal Rumble when Hogan eliminated Savage. Some claim accidentally.
Hey everybody.
The Macho Man. Everything came to a head.
How goes? How y'all doing?
February 3rd, 1989. The Mega Powers would compete in tag team action, looking to show the
Hey Lord Kilmore. I see you there.
Elizabeth was caught up in the action. Hogan would take her to the back for medical attention, leaving the Macho Man alone.
How's everybody doing today?
Hogan would extend a hand to tag in, but would instead be slapped in the face by an enraged Randy Savage. A post-match altercation in the locker room would make it official. The Mega Powers were dead, and a clash was inevitable. Soon after, Hogan would lay down the challenge for WrestleMania 5. In a final twist, Miss Elizabeth would side with neither man, insisting that she'd be ringside in a neutral corner instead, offering to help either if they needed it. We were able to sit down with Hulk Hogan to talk about the night the Mega Powers exploded.
The lines were so blurry between reality and what we were trying to accomplish. He was madly in love with his wife.
That's good to hear, Lord Kilmore.
He was madly jealous for real. Leading up to it, you know, when she was managing him or managing me, or couldn't depend on who she was going to manage, it made him crazy. I just didn't know what type of abuse I was in for, so it was a little nuts. He was there to
a little bit,
push the gas
from the sounds of it.
Really hard on me in that match. Once you became a Macho Man fan, that was the only thing you could think about. his look, just the way he carried
Alrighty.
himself. I had nothing but respect for him.
It's always so great to hear from the legends themselves when it comes to these unforgettable WrestleMania moments and matches. Thanks again to Hulk Hogan for his time. Now, let's get you into the middle of an intensely heated WWE Championship match where the world would watch the Mega Powers explode.
All right. All right. Okay. There we go.
Hogan came into this match incensed, and the Macho Man looked to use that to his advantage early. With months of payback heading his way, Savage was evasive and defensive to the bull rush tactics of Hogan, appearing to frustrate the challenger. Hogan had a look in his eye that night. You could tell he wanted to hurt Savage. And Savage also wasn't shy about using Miss Elizabeth to his advantage,
Classic heel
bringing
move.
her into harm's way to stop Hogan in his tracks. Savage was playing by nobody's rules but his own. And if Hogan was going to get any revenge, he'd have to find a way to keep his own temper in check. Savage was showing early on that his approach would be as chaotic as possible. And now a once rampaging Hogan had slowed things down, looking to restore some order. The Macho Man's actions sent a clear message that anything goes and anyone would be fair game.
Turn your back on me, bitch. Bro. Really? Bro. Bro. Quit grabbing me.
Savage had, for the moment, managed to turn the tide with a well-placed boot. Now Savage wanted to slow things down, but this also gave him a chance to talk directly to Hogan. To remind Hogan of what he'd done to him at the main event. To rub in Hogan's face the fact that the Macho Man is the WWE Champion. That he knows Hogan is jealous of him and always has been. To look over at Miss Elizabeth and taunt her because Savage doesn't for 1 second
Hogan's
believe
bleeding.
that she's neutral at all.
Hogan's bleeding, so it
The
counts.
Macho Man was getting some energy back while slowly sucking the life out of Hogan. Could the cheers of the Hulkamaniacs get him back to his feet?
Right. Also, Base, if you want to get in on the fun of, blood sacrifices to the dragon, since you're not a sub. Oh, ain't that bad a bitch?
Hogan would get back on the attack once he broke free.
Well, let's see.
Why not go for the leg drop? Hogan's flash of offense is extinguished as quickly as it started, and Randy Savage seemed to have Hogan on the brink of exhaustion in their mega power collision.
Really? Really? Get your happy ass up. Hold on a second. Yeah, it should be. Did I spell it wrong? Weird. I spelled it right, but it still didn't do it. Come on. I said get up. Get up. God damn it. Send him into the corner. Stop countering. I said, fuck off. Get off me. God damn it! Stop trying to fucking grab me! Get up and fucking throw him in the corner. Stop countering. Get back in here. God damn it. Throw him in the corner. There. Big scoop slant, a scoop. Said, oh my God, get out of the ring.
In one of the more surprising moments of this match, Miss Elizabeth proves herself true to her word, stopping Hogan from running Savage into the ring post, maintaining her neutral status. The Macho Man would take advantage of Hogan's reluctance. Once again, Savage showed no regard for the safety of Liz.
God damn it. The hell? Yeah, no.
Fed up with her presence, Savage would insist to the referee that she be removed. And she'd be escorted back to the locker room. Having his constant distraction removed seemed to invigorate Savage. He was looking to put the finishing touches on what had been a master class to that point. Just moments away from showing that it was Savage who was the true force of the Mega Powers, not Hogan. Looking to set up his vaunted flying elbow, Savage would target Hogan's throat. Hulkamaniacs knew to never lose hope, but it wasn't looking good for Hogan here. The Macho Man looked better than he ever had, seemingly on the verge of his biggest victory yet.
God damn! God damn it! I said, get down! God damn, get up! Really? Get him in the ring. Hello? 1, 2. Really? Alright. Do I have to do it again? Really? Bitch. Stop grabbing me! Yep. Pick him up. Seriously?
Here is your winner, and the new WWE Champion, the Immortal, Hogan!
There we go. As annoying as that is.
The sports entertainment world could only brace for impact as Savage and Hogan battled, and when it was over, a common WrestleMania sight was seen. Hulk Hogan celebrating in the ring with the WWE Championship back in his possession. And as the 1980s gave way to the 90s, around the world there was a real sense of looking for the next big thing. The newest, the coolest, the fastest, the strongest, anything to show where the future was. This was also the case in WWE. Amongst the members of the WWE Universe, many saw the Ultimate Warrior as the heir apparent to the throne that Hulk Hogan had occupied for 6 years. The untamed superstar appeared capable of matching Hogan's strength and had dominated all other opponents. Even that loss we relived at WrestleMania 5 against Rick Rude, yeah, he avenged that just a few months later at SummerSlam, regaining the Intercontinental Championship in the process. But this talk all seemed like fantasy, only existing as a dream match. Hogan and Warrior weren't enemies, and for either of them to turn against the other would run against the strict codes of honor to which both men claimed to adhere. All of that changed in the 1990 Royal Rumble match. It was brief, but for a moment the only two men in the ring were, you guessed it, Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. The crowd went nuts, and these two stared at each other for a minute before circling up. Two running tackles led nowhere, and then a double clothesline floored both men, ending things before they could really get started between the two. That small taste, though, was all the world of sports entertainment needed to know that they wanted more. Even more interesting, it would be Hulk Hogan who would challenge the Ultimate Warrior to a contest at WrestleMania 6.
Ultimate Warrior, me and my Hulkamaniacs put the championship on the line.
Hogan openly stated that he needed to know which power was truly the strongest in WWE, his or that of the Warrior. Adding to the stakes was the stipulation that both the WWE and Intercontinental Championships would be up for grabs, leaving the winner with supreme claim to lead WWE into the next decade. All right, now it's your turn to try and shock all the little Hulkamaniacs out there and try to beat Hogan at WrestleMania 6. Can you harness the power of the Ultimate Warrior? There's only one way to find out. I'm pretty sure the last thing anyone expected from Hogan versus Warrior was a crisscross, but this is WWE, and anything can happen. Ultimate Warrior rising to his feet immediately after being body slammed was such an iconic moment. But it was absolutely crazy to see them do a second crisscross.
Yep.
And when Warrior returned the body slam to Hogan, it hurt the Hulkster. He didn't pop up the way Warrior had. Just the difference in reactions between the body slams, you could sense that change was in the air. Seeing Hogan struggle like this wasn't something the WWE Universe was used to. After the clothesline sent him crashing to the floor, Hogan appeared to hurt his knee, the last thing he needed. Ultimate Warrior was here to prove that his hype was real. Warrior was going to run right through Hogan at this pace.
Ah, damn it. Okay. There we go. Boop.
When Warrior and Hogan clotheslined each other, you could hear a pin drop.
Ow, that
Now
hurt.
you're wondering, who's going to get up first? Is Hogan as hurt as he seems to be? Does Warrior have the gas in the tank to pull through in this moment? Remember, Hogan's had many championship matches, and he knows what it takes. He can use the time to get his breath back.
In theory.
And then Warrior sits up. And half of the
Who
arena
the
goes
fuck does he
crazy,
think he
while
is,
the other
the
half lets out
Undertaker?
a defeated groan. Ultimate Warrior looking every bit the dominant superstar, getting to his feet while Hogan stays down. The Hulkster was running out of magic. Could he find one more iconic comeback?
Get up! Really? Really? That
Hogan
does
had
not
been
look right.
out-muscled by opponents before, but they were usually 7 feet tall or 400-plus pounds. Seeing Ultimate Warrior control Hogan in this bear hug was another one of those moments where you just knew what was coming.
Don't grab the
Hogan
referee.
just could not break free from Warrior, no matter what he tried. It was a smart play by the Warrior, too, able to rest himself while dealing out crushing punishment to the Hulkster. Warrior, to this point, had only been known for running through opponents in quick, brutal outbursts. He was showing more of a tactical side here, and it was paying off. Ultimate Warrior was showing that the moment wasn't too big for him. He wasn't trying to rush anything. With two of WWE's most popular superstars competing, the WWE Universe was divided.
Okay, can we get back into some gameplay here? I mean, I don't think my viewers enjoy watching, somebody get hugged for 5 minutes.
And right when Hogan finally gets his chance and manages to break Warrior's grip, the referee gets flattened, and now
Referee
there's
getting
no one
knocked
to count
down
the
at the
fall.
crucial point in the match cliche. Oh, hold on. Damn it. Get back on the goddamn... There. I don't think that's the right... Excuse me. I said get on the top rope. You want me to go to the top rope? Get up there.
As Warrior lifted Hogan up, things were looking perilous for the Hulkster.
And...
the Hulkamaniacs were hoping for one last gasp from Hogan. And they got it. Hogan kicking out at 2.
Well, of course he did.
A familiar sight as Hogan begins to shrug off the attack of the Warrior, slowly getting back to his feet. You know the deal. 3 big rights.
Rest in peace to the Ultimate Warrior, by the way.
And then Hogan misses the leg drop. Hogan crashes hard to the mat. Now it was just up to the Ultimate Warrior to fulfill his destiny. Could he defeat Hulk Hogan?
All those fails, just do it again.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your WWE Intercontinental and the WWE Champion, the Ultimate Warrior.
incredible victory for the Ultimate Warrior there, becoming the first superstar to hold the WWE and Intercontinental Championships at the same time. A truly historic feat on the grandest stage of them all. A victory that signaled a new wave of change that was about to hit all of WWE. To Royal Rumble, the wrestling world rejoiced.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
The fiery superstar showed true emotion in the moment, revealing how much it meant to him. Bret the Hitman Hart had changed his status in WWE and springboard up the singles rankings, winning the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam that year. Wanting to be an active champion, Bret faced off against all comers, finding victory each time out. Until a few nights prior to the 1992 Royal Rumble, when Hart lost the Intercontinental Championship. And before he could get a rematch, Piper had swooped in and won the thing. The last thing the Hitman wanted to do was ruin Roddy Piper's moment. The two were close. Piper had trained in the family dungeon and spoke glowingly of not only Bret, but his entire family.
And plus, I'm fairly certain they're cousins.
I love your family. I gotta tell you how much I love your mom. I know you. I know this guy since he's been knee-high to a grasshopper.
Respectfully, the two agreed to compete at WrestleMania 8, which would emanate from Indianapolis, Indiana. But Piper understood that many felt Bret lost that title at less than 100%. And that he'd have to defeat Hart in the ring to get those people on his side. And while both men claimed they'd keep it respectful, most everyone understood what happens when you push Roddy Piper to the edge. And trying to take something from Roddy Piper is one way to do it, especially when it's the first title he ever held in WWE.
Right.
So it was Bret Hart's technical mastery against Roddy Piper's street fighting in an unheralded classic was produced by two absolute masters of their craft. And while they both tried to keep it friendly, you just knew it wasn't going to last. Nearly 20 furious minutes of action unfolded between the two, each with near victories along the way. Blood, sweat, and tears was never more appropriate. The two gave their all on the goal of earning the WWE Intercontinental Championship. So, get in there and do your best to beat Roddy Piper to the punch. But beating Hot Rod is no easy task, even if you are the best there is, the best there was, or the best there ever will be. Heading into the match, the smart money was on Roddy Piper, resorting to his brawling tactics. But he looked to try and wrestle with Bret Hart at the start, which led to predictable results, with Bret outmaneuvering Piper. A fuming Piper would spit at the Hitman. Would Piper's desire to win and be champion override his desire to play fair? Could Hart use Piper's legendary temper as a constant exploit? Piper was already reverting to the man people knew him to be, and Hart was looking to exploit that fiery temper by embarrassing Piper as often as possible.
Bro. I really wish they'd stop doing that. That's annoying as hell. Come on. Get over here! Stop countering.
Piper continued to show glimpses of the old Hot Rod, but still tried to play by the rules. He was desperate to remain champion, but his respect for Hart and his family kept him from unleashing that old demon inside. And Hart used that to his advantage, tricking Piper by feigning a shoulder injury after landing awkwardly on a dropkick. Piper, understandably, was not amused by this one.
Yeah, no.
Piper slapped the taste out of
Slap the
Hart.
shit out of him.
He famously called it. And this once friendly competition was turning into the heated brawl many figured it would become. The tension was growing between the two, but they were still trying to keep it sportsmanlike.
Trying being the operative word.
The Hitman sent both tumbling to the floor with a crossbody. Piper would respond by holding the ropes for Hart to re-enter. Hart was hesitant, but ultimately accepted. And that was the information Piper needed, that Hart trusted him. Piper would immediately violate that trust by telling Bret his boot was untied and unloading a huge sucker punch.
Hey, to be fair, Hart did it to him first.
For survival. Hart wanted to use little tricks, while Piper just suckered him with the old, your shoe's untied. A huge shot from Piper, and it looks like the Hitman may be busted open.
Oof. Let's give him some time to regain some energy. Whoa. Get up. Get up! Seriously? Seriously? Really? Knock it off. God damn it. And of course the ref goes down.
Boiling, Piper manages this well-timed shove of Hart to knock the official down. And if you think that was accidental, then you don't know Roddy Piper. As soon as the official goes down, you see the old hot rod start to appear. He's brawling with Hart at ringside. He's throwing him into the ring steps. And then he grabs the ring bell. Hart's down on the mat, can barely move, and Piper's telling him to get up. As you see the sneer on Piper's face, like, this is your fault, man.
Excuse me.
As Piper measures Hart up for the bell shot, you can see the inner struggle. What was how the instant the match was over, the respect between the two immediately returned.
All right, I think I'm going to do one more.
Saturday night's main event in the fall of 1992. But in the fall of 1993, Michaels would be stripped of the championship due to inactivity. As the Heartbreak Kid watched from the sidelines, Razor Ramon would capture the vacant championship. At the 1993 Survivor Series, Michaels would announce that he was back, and there to be a fake champion. Having never been defeated in the ring, HBK still believed he was the rightful Intercontinental Champion.
There is only one undisputed Intercontinental Champion, and it is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Never one to back down from a fight, Ramon was more than ready to face Michaels anytime, any place. But Shawn wanted to play games with the bad guy, interfering in his matches and even performing Ramon's vaunted Razor's Edge finisher to taunt him. Shawn was also very open about relying on his 7-foot monster bodyguard, Diesel, to help him get through any tough situations.
Hey, Kevin Nash.
WWE officials, forced with figuring out how to decide who the true Intercontinental Champion was, came to a decision. Both championship titles would be suspended above the ring in a ladder match. The winner would be the first superstar able to incapacitate their opponent long enough to climb the ladder, grab both championships, and finally settle the issue once and for all.
Rest in peace to Scott Hall.
Men use everything they could to stop the other, including the ladder repeatedly. It was used as a battering ram, even as a perch from which to dive for a huge splash. Both Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels laid it all on the line in this epic clash, leaving everyone breathless with each new flurry of offense. So, you're gonna have to do your best to deal with not only a Mr. WrestleMania who wants his Intercontinental Championship, but also with the menacing Diesel at ringside. Stay focused, and maybe you'll be oozing enough machismo to climb that ladder of success.
Okay. I swear I keep hearing somebody knock on my door. Stop grabbing the ladder from me. Quit trying to take the turnbuckle pad off. I'm embarrassing myself, am I? Stop countering! Up. Bro! Bro!
Razor Ramon was looking to prove that despite never defeating Shawn Michaels for the Intercontinental Championship, he was still the real champion. Shawn Michaels had a clear game plan for this match. With no rules, he'd be able to receive assists from his bodyguard Diesel. No disqualifications in a ladder match means it's not cheating. The second Michaels tossed Ramon to the floor, that plan was put into action with Diesel attacking the bad guy. Unfortunately for Shawn, the official decided that wasn't going to work. Despite Diesel's arguments, the WWE official decided to kick Big Daddy Cool out of the ringside area. Shawn had talked a lot about being the real champion. And now without his 7-foot backup, he was going to have to back those words up himself.
Fucking finally.
This distraction bought Ramon enough time to recover and send HBK flying with a huge right hand. Ramon floors Michaels, and now with Diesel banned from ringside, it looks like the Heartbreak Kid needs a new plan for the bad guy.
Bro. God damn it. Really? Damn thing out of my way. Countering. Stop countering. Really? 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 Ha! bitch. Shut up, Mace. There we go. I'm only kidding, Base. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm only kidding. Quit grabbing me. Quit fucking countering! God fucking damn. There.
Heading into this match, a lot of people wondered how the ladder would come into play. And it didn't take long for Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels to answer that question. Razor placed the ladder on the apron to re-enter the ring, and that gave Shawn the opening he needed to launch a baseball slide dropkick that sent the ladder crashing into Ramon's ribs. Had Razor even considered that type of offense from Shawn in his preparations? Had Shawn practiced that very move? He appeared ready to strike the second the ladder was laid down. Clearly, any moment with a ladder nearby was going to be dangerous, and one would need to always be aware of their opponent's location. With his bigger, stronger opponent struggling to breathe, Michaels would be able to build his own momentum. Michaels started to realize that as long as he used the ladders to his advantage, the lack of Diesel's presence wouldn't be as detrimental as he first thought. Knowing Ramon now had a weak point, Michaels crashes that ladder right into the ribs of Ramon, and he has completely turned the tide of this match. You could see it on the faces of Razor's fans, who sat in disbelief as Shawn took control.
So, as I was going to try to say, can anyone who can hear this, can you guys, okay, Lord Kilmore, what are you about to do?
Both men looked to hit the other with a ladder in a variety of ways, but Shawn Michaels was about to shock the crowd with a different approach
what was that for?
to ladder-based offense. With Ramon down, Michaels would climb the ladder near the corner and come crashing down onto Ramon's already weakened ribs.
What are we doing?
Why waste all that energy swinging the ladder around when you can just climb it and jump off from great heights, right?
Oh, okay. What are we doing? But yeah, you're good. Anyway, can you guys hear, can you guys hear the game okay? Is the game audio coming through? I know you guys said there was no,
thinking it was over,
lag, and you could hear me fine. Can you hear the game all right?
For the cover, and he may have even won the match after such an incredible move. But with ladder matches, it's not that easy. So even with Ramon in
want to make sure
he was able to find enough fight in him to get to his knees and topple the ladder over.
Really? Get up. Bitch. Did I fucking tell you to do that? No, I did not. Really? 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 Quit countering! Get up! Shut up. Shut up, Nick. I said grab him and fucking... Goddamn! I said grab him! Seriously? Come on, get up. Get up. Hurry up. Oh, God damn it! Really?
Shawn Michaels could see the match starting to slip away, but instead of panicking, he'd look for an opening. Reversing a Razor Ramon attack, he'd plant the bad guy with a devastating pile driver. HBK wanted to show off one other trick, bringing the ladder with him over to the corner. Shawn was in clear control here.
I remember this. This is funny as hell.
I've never seen anything like this before, and it's still jaw-dropping today. He didn't just climb the ladder. He'd proceed to fall with the ladder beneath him onto the downed Ramon. It was now or never for Razor Ramon, as his grasp on the Intercontinental Championship appeared to be slipping.
Okay. And good night. Seriously? Yeah, I know. Boom! I don't know why he only pulls down one title when there's two up there.
Here is your winner, and the undisputed WWE Intercontinental Champion.
All right, guys, let's see who all is live. We're gonna do a raid. Let's see. Anybody got any suggestions, or y'all think y'all good if I do it?
One of WrestleMania's greatest collisions comes to...
Hold on. Yep. We're gonna watch. We're gonna do this later. That's the. Yep. Raid time. We're gonna check it. We're gonna check to see. Anybody got any suggestions before I just go ahead and go send, or are y'all good? Okay. Well, we're gonna raid my friends at GPTV. There's some good. I've been following them for about 11 years now, so we're gonna do that. There's your raid message. God damn it! All right, so I will be playing this again later. Probably on Sunday, which is my next day off. So, I love you guys. I'll see you guys later. Have fun over there. Tell them Elliot sent you, and peace.